Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm starting a new series of videos on YouTube. They are how-to videos. Today's instructional videos will be on how to tune up your Briggs Stratton small engine and Hatin, Alabama. Today's BBD video is brought to you by Weigel's Big Orange Party Ice and Weigel's famous gas. Come get some of both at Weigel's. Okay, there's several things you need to have when working on a Briggs & Stratton motor and hatin on Alabama. You have to have a Briggs & Stratton motor. You need to have Paul Feinbaum playing on the radio in the background because you are sure to hear some idiot Alabama fan talking, and that keeps the hate going. So make sure you've got Paul Feinbaum's shitty ass going on the radio. Here is your Briggs & Stratton Intech 18.0 horsepower, blah blah blah, yada 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 motor. It might be hard to listen to an extended period of Paul Feinbaum, so at some point you might want to turn that shit off. You'll need your Big Orange ice because any good redneck must have a cooler full of beer on ice to work on anything that involves motors. And since I am not a full-fledged, bona fide, awarded redneck, I don't drink, but I do have some cold beer in the cooler. It's root beer, very important. Anytime you're working on anything outdoor, it's important to have a roll of duct tape handy and a can of Valspar orange spray paint because you never know when some shit needs spray painted orange. You know, there's also some other things that are important to being a good redneck, and I'm still learning. Any good redneck or otherwise noted southern person needs themselves a shed or a storage building or some other form of junk infested man place to keep their shit. And by their shit, I mean stuff that the woman ain't got no damn business messing with. Old useless things, 20-year-old cans of spray paint, and other various and sundry stuff that you might find around a garage but will never use again. You gotta have a place to keep all that shit. This is my place. When changing your oil, the government mandates that you use a government-approved plastic container in which to capture your used oil and take it to the appropriate recycle center near you. I will be sure to do that. However, if you find yourself in a situation to where you cannot do exactly that, simply change your oil on a day when the garbage runs, put it in the appropriate plastic bag from your local grocery store, and bury it deep in your garbage for disposal. I do not condone nor recommend this behavior. You will need the appropriate oil filter to make this oil change. Alabama sucks ass. We'll need the appropriate Briggs & Stratton inline fuel filter. Run, Forrest, run! You will need a spark plug. I love you, Jenny. Would you stick your Peter in my poop chute? Oh wait, I'm the man, you're the woman. I still love you, Jenny. Mama says life is like a box of chocolates. You never know which cousin you're gonna get. Not. You will need a spark plug changer. I've heard it said that Alabama, the state, smells like hot dog water. I cannot verify this. However, I do find it rather amusing. You will need engine oil. Briggs & Stratton small engine SAE 30, government approved, tested, and ready to go oil. The same exact kind that people like Harvey Updike use to brush their hair in the morning, cause he's just got too much Alabama in him. I'm guessing that ain't all he's got in him. He's probably had his cousin in him, his brother in him, his uncle in him, and if I was just guessing, probably his second and third cousin in him as well. Always keep your nuts when working on something in a safe place where they will be easy to find. I personally like to keep mine right here between my legs. Go to hell, Alabama. Here you have the oil filter and the inline fuel filter. How do you castrate an Alabama fan? Kick his sister in the chin. You'll need a roll of industrial-sized shop towels, the kind that Alabama fans will be using to wipe their eyes with this year when Tennessee kicks their ass. Here is said government-approved oil catching container. You want to get that oil filter off of there. Let that drain out, kind of like the crap that drains out of Alabama fans' heads every year. Now when you're putting a new oil filter on, you want to rub just a little bit of oil around the gasket. Although I am not 100% sure why you are supposed to do this. I just remember my stepfather teaching me that years ago when I would change the oil in my car. But it certainly is a good thing to do, just like hating Alabama and their fans. This next procedure that you see me do is something you will never ever see an oil change shop do. Besides hating Alabama and their fans and everything that Alabama stands for, when changing oil, I always like to take maybe a half a quart to a quart of new oil, pour it in, and let it run through. I know that's a waste of money. I understand that. But in my opinion, it helps clean out the old oil. Call me crazy. Whatever you do, do not call me a friggin' Alabama fan. But as you can see, you now have a lot cleaner oil coming out of that engine. Removing the spark plug. You'll want to put your spark plug remover on there. Take the long part of the tool and run it into the hole, a lot like Alabama fans do their sisters, and turn and get loose. A lot like the female Alabama fans. Once you've gotten that loose, pull the long part out and walk away like nothing ever happened, just like an Alabama fan hitting his sister. There you have it, one extremely dirty, fouled out, overused piece of crap, i.e. an Alabama fan. Take your new plug, put it in, gently insert it with love and affection, just like a good Tennessee fan would his woman. Gently massage until snugly fit. Now it's important to note when installing a spark plug, you don't want to tighten it down too tight. Again, I don't know why. I just remember my stepfather teaching me that as a youngster. In my case, I tighten it till it can't be turned anymore by hand, and for me, that's good enough. A lot like the spark plug, when installing your oil filter, hand tight is about what you want. If you get it much more than hand tight, you will find that it is a son of a bitch to get off, and you will cuss, throw shit, get mad, and stomp things into the ground. A lot like I do when Alabama beats Tennessee. You always want to clean your parts off as good as you can before you reinstall them. It's just a good practice, and it makes it easier the next time you have to do this chore. Once you've got your plug cleaned off, screw that bad boy back in there. Now on your oil plug, it's a preference thing. You can either take a wrench and hunker down on that bad boy until you cannot move it. A practice I personally find redundant. Or you can again simply hand tighten it, so next time you don't have to have an extra tool to get the bitch off of there. I hate Alabama and everything they stand for. Ah yes, inserting some clean, crisp, brand new oil into the system, just like Derek Dooley has done at Tennessee, in order to make Tennessee perform better in whooping that Alabama ass. This oil will help my engine to perform better in whooping this yard's ass. Now folks, this last step that I will be doing here is very crucial. Changing the inline fuel filter. Now you want to make sure when you're changing a fuel filter and dealing with gasoline that you've always got a fully lit, brand new burning cigarette in your mouth. Not. Common sense would tell you folks that you don't want to work around gasoline with a lit match, a flicked Bic, or a burning cigarette. But it is perfectly acceptable to set an Alabama fan on fire. Probably the easiest thing to do in this whole procedure is changing out the air filter, and of course telling Alabama and their fans to go to hell. And there you have it. Well, that's pretty much going to do it. Got the oil in, getting ready to check it. Got the inline fuel filter in after spilling, half a gallon of gas all over the place because I'm a retard like Alabama fans. All that's left to do now is button her up, crank her up, and get to mowing. This has been BVD's first ever how to or how not to video. Screw Alabama, go Vols. Y'all have a good one. Just like Tennessee's offense, purring like a kitten, baby.